from any phone in the world. That's innovation, that's inclusion, and this is happening in Africa right now very strongly. So I think that your speech is very accurate in that sense. Right, so the next speaker is Janenne Remondino. Is that right, Remondino? Senior Director of International Programs at the Customer Trades Association, the powerhouse behind the CIS, Customer Electronics Show. Is that correct? It wasn't given to me before, I just got it. Who will discuss the pivotal role of international collaboration in technological advancement. Janenne, the floor is yours.
Sorry, I just need to find my presentation. Messy. Okay, bonjour. That's about the extent of my French. Yeah. I'm so excited to be experiencing Rabat, Morocco. Thank you so much for inviting and hosting me and all of my WEF colleagues. It's really been an incredible experience, really. We're so happy to be back together at the World Electronic Forum for WEF 2024. And for those of you who aren't familiar, WEF is very much like a family of technology and electronic associations from around the world. We all have the same goal of progressing innovation and celebrating innovations that can help humanity. A special welcome to all of the potential new WEF participants in the room, and we hope that we'll be talking with you and working with you more in 2024. I'm excited to talk to you more about CES, but first, I would like to also say thank you, a very sincere thank you to our event organizers, Lamia, and of course, her partner in crime, Jessica, who have worked countless hours orchestrating this event. And also just to thank the WEF board who tried to support as much along the way. So CTA, the organization that I work for, we own and produce CES in Las Vegas every January. In fact, exactly 100 years ago today, 100 years ago yesterday, the Consumer Technology Association began as the Radio Manufacturers Association. And there have been many name changes along the way, but today we host the most impactful tech event on the planet. Although CES is a huge part of what we do and are known for, we also support tech companies as an association. And we focus on research, tech and standards, global policy, and of course, our continued focus on supporting international governments and countries that are innovating. We do this through a number of special programs and offerings to our international attendees and government officials. As part of my role at CTA, in addition to managing our international audience at CES, we also launch select events globally and have a couple of them coming up in Europe this fall that I wanted to share with you. So on September 18th, we've partnered for a second time with France Digital for their FD Day. This event is an opportunity to join fellow innovators to network and discover trends and contributions of French innovation that are changing the world for better. After that will be our CES Unveiled event in Amsterdam on October 15th, where we will return to highlight European innovation through groundbreaking exhibition and robust conference programming. This stop on our road to CES is your opportunity to connect with some of Europe's iconic brands and promising startups, top-level government officials, industry leaders, and media. I hope you can join us to get a sneak peek at what to expect in Las Vegas, and most importantly, be inspired by technology creating a better tomorrow. So let's take a quick moment to reflect on CES 2024 this past January. Looking back, human security or human rights was the theme and purpose behind our whole show. We expanded our focus on sustainability, human rights, and will continue to work with the UN Trust Fund for Human Security and the World Academy of Art and Science in support of human security for all campaign. In fact, last year, our CEO, Gary Shapiro, was at an event on the United Nations campus where we announced that technology will be added as the new 8th pillar of the UN human securities alongside of others like personal safety and mobility, community security, political freedom, food security, access to health care, economic security, and environmental protection. We're shining a spotlight on technology innovation that's solving big global problems, improving millions of lives, and helping us to close the development gap. The human securities theme was a driving force behind CES 2024, where we saw technology that is powering global change. Just to mention a few, we have 25 different categories at CES, so I didn't want to do 25 different category explanations, but I highlighted a few, and the first one was digital health. Here is where we saw tools that were being created to help people live longer and healthier lives through advances in telehealth, connected devices, wearables. We also saw digital health's consumer impact expand further with more personalization that focused on the patient at the individual level, moving them from a one condition silo to a systemic approach to address all health conditions together. And with these advancements, unified remote patient monitoring solutions will help care providers remotely care for their patients' full health profile. Next, we saw a lot about sustainability. Sustainability represented an expansive trend for CES 2024, with companies deploying technologies, products, and services looking to migrate the human effect of climate change. We saw a focus on the electrification and modernization of buildings using renewable energy sources and building materials, to experimenting with new technologies like battery recycling. We learned that energy infrastructure will play a key role in sustainability, with advancements in alternative energy power sources like wind and solar are expected. But the bottom line is that companies are harnessing innovation and deploying new technologies to solve complex challenges in sustainability. And of course, AI, which had a big breakout moment over the past year and at CES 2024. AI isn't exactly new, however, the huge advancements are, and we see that in helping medical researchers discover new life-saving drugs, helping forecast weather patterns and that might help farmers improve their harvest, detecting and combating serious cyber threats, and helping teachers tailor education and tutoring for young people around the globe. While generative AI has rightfully been the subject of intense consumer and enterprise excitement, the AI ecosystem is more expansive now, ranging from chips to robots. Advancements in the silicon and sensors that serve as the brain for AI and data infrastructure, which packages all the information for AI systems, creates a horizontal wave of AI tech innovation that cuts across literally every industry. Innovation technology does, however, need to be paired with good policy. As both the US and other countries consider tech policy, we really do need to find the balance that supports innovation and at the same time protects consumers. So let's take a look at CES. Simply put, CES 2024 was a great show. Our total attendance was over 138,000. And we had an unprecedented 40% of our attendees join us from outside of the United States, making us truly an international show. We also showcased over 4,300 exhibitors, more than 1,400 of those being startups. And in our conference sessions, we executed just about 300 programs with over 1,000 speakers. I'm happy to share this with you afterwards as well. Over 161 countries were represented, with the highest numbers by countries and attendance and exhibitors are listed here. Again, I will be happy to share this with you after. We also saw growth in our international media presence. About 38% of the 5,300 journalists that joined us at CES back in January. So, how many of you are planning to come to CES in January? Anyone just said, you have to come. Good, good, good. Well, I do have some advice on how you can be successful. And this is really a challenge. It is a very large show. So I often like to just impart some tips. So my first suggestion is to learn about all the programs that CES has to offer, because there are numerous, and it just depends on your industry and your needs. But I'm positive there is something there for you, and but you need to do a little bit of work just to make sure you know what those programs are. CES does have a call for speakers that opens in around May or June. So if you are interested in speaking, you submit early. Often get a lot of requests, can I speak at CES? And it's like December 25th, and that's not going to happen. So our coveted Innovation Awards program, it starts early. Learn about the application process if you're a startup, and when the winners are announced and how they're announced. It's a very detailed process, and it has to be done by the rules. So make sure you check out our innovation program. We have also launched a match program that companies will need to register in advance of CES. And I advise you to do that soon because space is limited. When it's full, it's full. In 2025, we had our international scorecard where CTA ranked countries based on, we will have our international scorecard. We do it about every other year, and we rank countries based on their innovations. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I'm happy to share, but we use a third-party vendor that has methodology, and it's very, it has to be sort of done exactly by those rules. And we use those methodologies to select the countries that we consider our innovation champions, and then we celebrate them on stage at CES. If you plan to exhibit, you do need to secure your space early because they also sell out quickly. If you're planning to bring a delegation to CES, or you would like to be a delegation leader, you will need to sign up to be a delegation leader in advance to receive, we have special benefits for those programs. And I cannot stress this next point enough. It seems very simple, and it's not an exaggeration, but you have to book your hotel early. Vegas has a lot of hotels, but they sell out, especially for CES. Let's see. In order to maximize your trip, you'll need to plan ahead and be strategic. Reach out to people, companies, and government attendees early to set up meetings. And this is my unsolicited advice to you, but it's not as though you come to CES and things just happen. You do have to prepare, but all the people you need and all the things you need are there for you. Prior to joining CES, I spent over 20 years in marketing at media companies. A mistake that I see a lot at CES is assuming that your audience is as smart as you and that they have the mental capacity to fully understand all your details. So I suggest you work on your elevator pitch and know who you're speaking to. Oftentimes, people will not admit that they don't. I mean, a lot of these companies are very sophisticated and advanced and technical, and they're not going to admit, especially certain gender, won't admit that they don't understand what you're saying, and they'll just move on. So just always make sure that you're speaking to them in the most simplistic terms, unless you're speaking to an engineer. But otherwise, just make sure, because I've seen some incredible companies that are doing amazing technology, but when they get to the point where they have to describe it, it falls short because they don't get the message out. And it's really unfortunate. So also you can learn about the details of our WEF biannual meeting that we have at CES every year. And make sure you use all of our tools. You can sign up for newsletters, our website. When we post the schedule, there's an exhibitor directory, there's a floor plan and a map, and when we launch our app. And I say this because, and you're probably thinking, if you've not been to CES, you're like, it can't be that big of a deal. It is. We take over the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is more like over a mile long, and we take over 4 hotels in Vegas. And not hotels like this, they're like gigantic hotels. So really getting a floor plan and knowing how to get around to all of those is really helpful. And then lastly, I said thank you for joining WEF. At the end of the event, will send out an email to those in attendance and to receive a complimentary code So you can join as a participant for free. I don't think the volume's going to play, but here's a quick video I was just going to show you so you can get an understanding for.
That's what CES is all about.
This is the place to be.
You could call it a tech fantasy land.
CES is especially important as a platform that introduces technology to transform the world. I mean, really solving human problems.
It's an opportunity for serendipity, for discovery. It's where business gets done.
And with that, CTA would love to invite you to join us at CES 2025. As I mentioned, our event will be in Las Vegas, January 9th through 12th, and we hope to see you there.
Bravo.